Hey guys, Jonathan here. Well, 2023 has been an interesting year for LEGO Marvel. We've gotten a pretty wide array of sets, but something that I've realized looking back on the year is we've gotten some pretty strangely priced sets. The one that inspired this video is the Hoopty from Captain Marvel. It comes with 3 minifigs, 420 pieces, and retails for $90. Yeah, $90. So I wanted to make a list of the top 10 worst priced LEGO Marvel sets ever. Now, this isn't necessarily the worst LEGO Marvel sets ever, it's just the worst for the value that you paid. Like, the Hoopty here being $90, that's bananas. So I thought, I wonder what other sets were priced really bad, kind of like this one. Now, I did have to create some ground rules as I went through the list. First and foremost, this list does not include any poly bags, San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, or accessory packs, because those are basically either minifig builders or they're cool because of their exclusivity, and that kind of outweighs the price, so this is just really bad priced retail sets. Additionally, this list is not going to include 4+ sets. I really debated it, but honestly, the top 10 list is pretty much entirely 4+ sets, and that doesn't make for a super fun video. The other thing is, with 4+ sets, you kind of get into it knowing that you're paying a lot because you're getting those big molded printed pieces, so again, I didn't think that that would make for a particularly fun video. And finally, this list was comprised using Brickset.com and their aggregation of LEGO Marvel sets, and it's based off of the principle that 10 cents per piece is a good ratio for a LEGO set. So generally speaking, across LEGO sets, if you didn't know this, it's kind of, again, generally considered that 10 cents per piece is a good price ratio. So like a $10 set should have like 100-ish pieces, basically. So with that in mind, let's get into the list. Just squeaking its way onto the list at number 10 is Hulk vs. Red Hulk. Now this set was pretty wild back in the day. You got these two giant, like Mad Max looking vehicles. You got Hulk and She-Hulk and Red Red She-Hulk. Quite possibly the most creative named characters ever. But this set was $60 and had 375 pieces with 4 exclusive minifigs. Now here's the thing, guys. This one almost barely deserves to be on the list because you did get 4 exclusive minifigs, one of which is still to this day the only Red Hulk LEGO has ever given us. But at the end of the day, it does come out to about 16 cents per piece, which isn't a great ratio, but it just barely squeaks its way onto this list. Still taking a look at the set, both of those Mad Max style cars are really uninteresting and don't fit on shelves very well, so I do think that this is a unique case where you got amazing minifigs with terrible builds, and that kind of puts it somewhere in the middle when it comes to value. At number 9 on the list, we have the 2022 Black Panther Wakanda Forever War on the Water set. Now this set retailed for $90 and had 545 pieces with 5 minifigures, which brings the average out to about 17 cents per piece. Now, I don't hate this set as much as most people hate it. I don't love it. I think it actually looks decent for what it's trying to represent in the movie. It's just that the scale is way off for what it's trying to represent. I thought the minifigs were okay, honestly, but I do think that it deserves to be on this list, and number 9 seems like a pretty good place for it. At number 8, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Advent Calendar. Now, this is another weird one that I'm not really sure deserves to be on the list, but it was $45 when it came out last year in 2022, and it had 268 pieces with 6 minifigs, 2 of which were the Drax and Nebula Christmas exclusives. The price per piece ratio is about 17 cents per piece, and that's not awful, but like 268 pieces, it's not great for $45, so I definitely see how it makes it on this list, and it was a great way to get pretty much all the Guardians in one set, even if Drax and Nebula were their Christmas versions, and this did tie in pretty well with the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, so I get why it's on the list, but I like this set more than it deserves to be at number 8. You know what I mean? Now, number 7 is an interesting one. It's Taskmaster's Ambush. This was supposed to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but because Comic-Con got canceled during COVID, it ended up on Amazon for $40. So because it was in a retail store, I'm gonna count it. This had 230 pieces with 3 exclusive minifigs, and that brings it out to about 18 cents per piece. Now, because of those exclusive minifigs and the general rarity of this set, I definitely think that it's a better set than deserves to be on this list. And again, because it was supposed to be a Comic-Con set, it technically shouldn't have been on the list, but it did come to retail, so fair is fair, and it's number 7 on the list. Number 6 is a real doozy. This is Captain America's Avenging cycle from the very first wave of LEGO Marvel sets in 2012. This was $12.99 in 2012 with 72 pieces and 3 minifigs. Admittedly, the cap was exclusive and that was cool, but it was 18 cents per piece. There's not really a lot going on here, and with only 72 pieces, it really limits your imagination what you could rebuild this set into, so this is definitely one of the worst LEGO Marvel sets and deserves to be on here, even if that cap minifig is pretty nostalgic 10 years on. Alright, we're at the halfway point, and that takes us to the Iron Man Armory from 2022. This was a pretty big set at $90, but it only had 496 pieces and 8 minifigs, many of which were exclusive Iron Man characters, but the price per piece ratio still comes out to about 18 cents. Now here's the thing, guys, because of all the Iron Man armors in this, and because of the way that you could buy multiples of this and build your own Hall of Armor, I think that this is one of the sets that's better than the price lets on, but when this was revealed, a lot of people were talking about that price point, saying how expensive it was for what you get, but this did end up at Costco at one point in a bargain pack with the I Am Groot set, so there were opportunities to get this much cheaper than $90, so it's on the list, but again, it's one of those sets that's better than deserving to be at the number 5 of these badly priced LEGO Marvel sets. At number 4, we have the 2023 LEGO Marvel Advent Calendar. Now, this one actually genuinely surprised me that it's on the list. It retails for $45, just like all licensed Advent calendars do, but it only has 243 pieces and comes with 7 minifigs. The price per piece ratio comes out to 19 cents on this one, and that's not great. Now, I don't think that the minifig selection this year was all that great. It gave us a lot of minifigs that came in other sets that you probably already have at this point, so I definitely agree that this one deserves to be on the list, because not only is 19 cents per piece getting pretty high, I mean, it's about double the national average, if you will, but it's also not great when you get a bunch of minifigs you already have, and I thought the builds in this year were particularly weak too. At number 3, we're going all the way back to the Spider Trike versus Electro. This set retailed for $10 back in the day. I feel like a lot of people had this one, but it only came with 70 pieces and 2 minifigs, one of which was the exclusive Electro, and that ratio comes out to 19 cents per piece. Now, here's the thing, guys. $10 to get an exclusive Spider-Man villain like Electro, I feel like was not all that bad of a deal, but the pieces that come here do limit your imagination. Like, you pretty much have to build the Spider Trike and the Electro little electric cloud there, so it's not a great set. I would argue it's one of the worst LEGO Marvel sets, but to get Spider-Man and Electro for $10, I feel like people would be thrilled with this set today, so it's in this weird gray area for me. What do you think? Is this a trash set that deserves to be the second worst price set ever from LEGO Marvel? Or is it better than that and it's like, hey, $10 for 2 minifigs, that's not too bad. Let me know in the comments. At number 2, you guessed it, it's the Hoopty. I can't believe it's not number 1, but we'll get to that in a minute. The Hoopty was $90, came out in 2023, and came with 3 minifigs and 420 pieces. That makes the price to piece ratio 21 cents, which is really, really bad. On top of that, it's just not a very exciting set. It's kind of like a big gray, roundish rectangle. Just not a lot going on here to get excited about, and $90 for 420 pieces is absolutely egregious, so this definitely deserves the number 2 spot. Now, number 1 is actually shared by 3 sets, and technically one of them has slightly more pieces and a slightly off ratio, but they were all released at the same time for the same price, so I'm just gonna bunch them together, and those are the 2012 Construction figures. They made Hulk, Iron Man, and Captain America, and you could basically build these like Marvel Bionicles for $14.99, and they had 39 to 44 pieces, no minifigs of course, and that makes the price to piece ratio 31 to 38 cents depending on which set. So I do think that it makes sense to group all of those together, and it's really wild. Now, I do have an honorable mention. Remember how I said we weren't going to count 4+ sets in this? Well, technically, if we counted 4+ sets, the number 1 worst price to piece ratio came out this year in 2023. And that would be the 4+ Iron Man Hulkbuster versus Thanos, which is $26.99 for only 66 pieces, 2 minifigs included, and that makes the price to piece ratio 40 cents per piece. Honestly, that might be one of the worst priced LEGO sets ever for the price to piece ratio, but it does take the cake for Marvel. So like I said, 4+ in my book doesn't count because you kind of know what you're getting into with those, but that is pretty wild that the worst price to piece ratio set came out this year, and the second worst also came out this year. So as we round the video out, what do you guys think? Do you really care about price to piece ratios? I mean, I guess if you waited till this point of the video, you put some value on it. Or do you just view each set case by case and be like, this is a good set, this isn't? I'd love to hear what you guys think. So drop a comment down below. If you're new to Mini Superheroes Today, be sure to hit that old like and subscribe button down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.